Alright, on the draw again in round 3 with Pauper Elves, going quite broken so far. And having a lot of fun while doing so. I don't think I've laughed this much playing Magic in a while. And what do we have here? So this hand doesn't actually achieve anything. Elvish Warden doesn't produce mana and doesn't let us cast the rest of our hand, so we need to mulligan this. Ugh. This hand's not very good. It's quite mana heavy and with very little gas. In the dark, I don't know whether we're supposed to mulligan hands like this, because if we're against a deck which is planning to remove all our things, this hand is just not good. I think I'm going to keep it because it's a functional hand, and Elves does have a decent number of non-functional hands, as you've seen. Hopefully we draw Lead the Stampede quite quickly, which is what we will need. Secluded Step, though, implies something that's not going to interact quite hard with us. We're probably playing against Kuldotha or my white deck of some description. Oh blimey, Deathblade Elite. What do you do? Provoke. Oh, that's not very fun. So this is going to be the heroic deck, isn't it? And that's not good. Oh, Birchlaw Rangers is going to be hilarious here, because how does Provoke actually work? Because if we tap it again after the... So what I assume happens is Provoke triggers when the Elite attacks, untaps one of our creatures and makes it be forced to attack. So what I hope this means is we can then tap it again before we go to blockers with our Birchlaw Rangers. Let's hope that's how it works at least. Tap these two for green and play Priest. No, we want to play Quarian Ranger here because we need to make sure we have at least 2 untapped. Oh no, one untapped elf would have been fine actually, wouldn't it? Whoops. Never mind. There's no point in attacking here. We don't really want to trade off. Or maybe we do if our opponent's stuck on lands. While they're tapped out, we maybe should have got the damage in. Here we go, yep, Ethereal Armor. Okay, so Provoke is triggering, targeting the Birchlaw Rangers. Okay. And I'm going to tap you for green. And we're going to take 2. Oh yes, we did need to leave 2 creatures untapped, because that way we make sure that he can't just pick off the creature that we left untapped. So here we're going to use Llanowar Elves to cast the 2 creatures left in our hand and attack him for 3. Actually, we should have just picked up a land with... Oh no, we played the land this turn, didn't we? Alright, here we go. Use the power of the Well-Wisher. We do want to draw our Lassalana Huntmaster because generating little 1/1 chump blockers is going to be very necessary if our opponent starts drawing some lands and can really pump up the Deathblade Elite, although that doesn't look like what's happening this turn. What are you provoking this time? The Well-Wisher? Sure. Yeah, we need to let this ability resolve. And then tap these 2. Green, pass, take the 2 damage. All our elves are safe, as they want to be. And there we have it. Let's get Llanowar Elves into play. Attack with all of these. One of them's going to get blocked by the Trailblazer, but it doesn't matter because it's a 0/4. Tap Well-Wish to gain life. Untap it, pick up our forest, replay our forest. Okay, so the game is on. Our opponent's drawn the land. Is 14 life per turn cycle with the Well-Wisher. Actually, we can activate it twice again because Quirion Ranger isn't a tap ability. We can activate it once per turn, but that means on our opponent's turn as well. You're going to try and provoke on the Birchall Rangers. Okay. So I'm going to tap Birchall Rangers and Llanowar Elves for the mana. No blockers. See what our opponent does. Not very much. And play Seeketh away. Okay, that's fine by me. Can't really attack into this now, but we're so stable gaining all this life. That we're putting ourselves well out of range of our opponent. Essence Warden only helps this. So we get 3 activations of Well-Wisher per turn cycle, which is more than enough to keep our opponent from winning. They would need to get a lot of auras and pump effects down to overpower this, and in the meantime we're still drawing Elves. If we ever draw a second Well-Wisher, I don't see our opponent wins, because I don't believe the Heroic deck plays any removal. So yeah, pretty comfortable. Hopefully winning the game is academic at some point. But we just never need to block now that we've got quite as much on the board as we have. We just need to be very careful to block properly around the provoke triggers. Yeah. It's fine, you're going to gain some life too. Go ahead. These creatures are getting big actually. Ethereal Armor does scale powerfully. So we are going to take 6, 13 damage. No, just a 7. Alright. Right, Well-Wishing. Okay, so the Quirion Ranger doesn't actually achieve anything here, so we're going to leave it in our hand. So we've got Elves to play. And I'm just going to do this now. We don't really need the lands on the battlefield. And there's no attacks here to be made until we draw a Timberwatch Elf. But yeah, feeling pretty safe. 60 life is a lot. Yes, our opponent's gaining life, but at some point we will just be able to overpower this deck, I think. I think we'll just start drawing our card draw and go more broken. Ooh, what is this? Has protection from the chosen colour. Okay, so Seeketh Away has protection from green, I'm assuming. Yeah, doesn't really change anything. We aren't going to block anyway. Gaining life. Picking up our forests. Gaining more life. Okay, we will play Essence Warden though, I think. Maybe I was supposed to play the Green Ranger actually, because it just gains us life and just keeps us well above board. Yeah, I think that makes sense actually, but not tapping mana here. That's silly. Need to always yield to those. Hopefully that worked. It's going to take 6, but we gain a lot more than 6, so our opponent is still quite far behind. Good, we are always yielding to the Essence Wardens. Oh my! Another Well-Wisher. I wonder how high we'll need to go before our opponent scoops. But this is extremely academic at this point, I believe. I don't think the mono white deck plays any removal, so no point in attack. Well, he's obviously got some tricks. Mutagenic growth. Why? Okay. Does seem like a bit of an odd target. Like, yes, you get to keep the counter, but I think just doing more lifelinking damage is more relevant. I have no idea what is in our opponent's hand, to be honest, but I can't think anything matters apart from being able to get the Well-Wishers off the board, and he's not likely to do that in a mono-white heroic deck. Yeah, Skyguard doesn't matter. You'll still summon sick. Play Priest of Titania, because it counts as more life. Tap the Well-Wishers. Aquarian Ranger, one of them. Tap it now. There's no attacks to be made. So we're just going to continue on like this, I suppose. Oh, our opponent has lifelink. Quite literally. This is going to be a long game, I think. Oh dear. This is quite amusing. A lot of clicking going on in this deck, so a little bit of a warning for people playing it online. There we go, right. Where's our priest? There we go. Let's get somewhere else. Oh, oh boy. That is, it's just... Okay, so we do have to click all of them. Check Modo doesn't have a shortcut for us. Alright, so we start with the Huntmaster. Second Huntmaster. Always utilize abilities and always yes to them. Just tap that, I suppose. Really doesn't matter, we have such a vast amount of mana. Always yes to you. Cast a Nettle Sentinel. About 1,000,000 triggers. Well-Wish. Well-Wish. Quirion Ranger on the Well-Wish. Well-Wisher. 21 Elves. And we'll pass the turn with no attacks, because there's not needing any. So now each of our elves we draw is 6 life from the Essence Wardens, because it makes another 2 elves from that, so that's 6 Essence Warden triggers. Another Huntmaster. It's always yes, always yield. Very important to do that. Just have to reduce the number of clicks you have to do in the deck. Well-Wishing. I presume we'll win at some point. It feels academic. Yeah, you can go up to 60 life, it doesn't matter. If this was a 50-minute timed round in Pauper, our opponent would be scooping because we are taking more time than they are. You're yielding. Okay, Priest of Titania. There's a card. There's some triggers. Always yes to you. Always yield to you. Always yes. Always yes. We need to always yield to you apparently, and we always yes. Okay, so Well-Wishers. I wonder if it's safe to cast Distant Melody still. I presume when we get to that point we can easily check how much mana we have with the Priest of Titania. That's the other thing, you have to be good at counting in Pauper. At least on Magic Online it does all the maths for you. Alright, okay, Ethereal Armor, that's a real card. I'd probably just be putting it on your big secret away, and all the other creatures don't matter. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I did have a friend, I suppose now that the match is a bit academic, I can tell this story, who played an Elf Mirror in a side event at Grand Prix Birmingham a few months ago. Played an Elf Mirror, and it devolved into such ridicularity that both players, I believe, didn't have a longbow in their deck, and as a result, the Well-Wishers were stuck on the table, and neither player could break through at all. So the game ended with both players on well over 1,000 life, not being able to do anything about it, in game 1 after 50 minutes. Which, while hilarious, is a little bit annoying, in a sense. It was ridiculous, and it did get featured on Wizards coverage, so you can probably find it if you look hard enough. Oh, protection from green. Oh, you're really doing it now, opponent. I'm only on 541 life. This is the thing with elves. In any format, if you're not going to interact with the elf deck, it's almost certainly going to win. You either have to interact or be faster, and the 3 decks we've played against so far have been neither. I do feel a little bit sorry for our opponent, but we're just still not close to being able to finish the game ourselves. Like, he can go ahead, draw, like, gain 20 life. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay, Timberwatch Elf, that might matter. Yeah, actually, I think Timberwatch Elf is sufficient to break the stalemate here, actually. Because we can then just attack with a throwaway elf and make him jump block. Because it's so huge at this point. It's in the 40s, the elf we have, I think. So yes, we do get to start making our opponent jump block now. So we are getting somewhere. Oh no, no, it doesn't get us anywhere because he's leaving back his protection from green creatures, of course. Alright, we can lead the Stampede. We're definitely at the point where we can't cast Distant Melody anymore. That's fine, we'll put these on the bottom. And let's just cast these. I wonder if our opponents decided they're just going to play for the clock. Tap these. Just doesn't matter. Oh, I suppose we could draw not for elves, but for one of the other tribes we have. That's a thought. Yeah, that actually sounds relevant. I don't know what tribe's the best one to do, and I'm not actually sure what we're drawing towards. I presume it's just more Timberwatch Elves? I suppose once we have multiple Timberwatch Elves into play, he doesn't have enough protection from green creatures. So we just need to find the Timberwatch Elves. There we go. And we're now protected from any sort of Sunlance effect with the Timberwatch Elf. But to think, we're doing all of this nonsense and not playing any lands. We are netting, not putting lands into play. Isn't Magic great sometimes? Yeah, play another Secret away. No one cares. We are using clock, so we do want to find our creatures quite soon. Okay, Hellish Mystic, fine. It would be nice if Magic Online was to tell you what creature types things were when you were casting Distant Melody, how many of each there were. But I don't think we're that lucky. Yeah, we hit 1,000 life. There we go, achievement unlocked. Don't think I've ever had this much life on Magic Online before. It's a shame none of these common elves have trample, isn't it? Ooh. Getting more protection from green effects. which is always going to yield to the Secret of the Way triggers. Post-board being able to bring in, what's it called? Emergence? No, that was the card we just saw. The Conspire Naturalize. I can't remember what it's called, but to blow up these protection from green effects will speed up the game. Can cut cards like the Longbow. So your warrior. So I presume if we Distant Melody, we're naming Druid. Would be my guess. Oops, that's not the land I meant to play, but never mind. Doesn't actually matter. Why are these going off? Not helpful. Should probably just not play anything at this point, save time. I know we definitely don't have 139 damage going through, I know that much. It's always yield to the paralysis as well. Hopefully that doesn't knock off the always yields on our side of the battlefield. Oh. Okay. Does this mean you have another protection from green aura? Oh, there's a Timberwatch Elf though. That is a good sign. Alright, let's go to combat. I'm going to attack with a Nettle Sentinel. You have to block. I'm going to Timberwatch Elf. Actually, with the Forest, I could have attacked with 2 Nettle Sentinels and untapped the Timberwatch Elf. So I'm actually not going to Quirion Ranger. I'm going to try and accumulate forests in play. I presume there's going to be protection from green effects flying around everywhere, though. Oh, it has its own protection effect, doesn't it? Okay. Alright, so I've got 52 elves in play. It's good to know. Right, Timber. Right, fine. More protection effects. Good to know. There's no way our opponent's supposed to be playing. There's no way they can deal with thousands of damage. This has started to actually annoy me now. I know they're under no obligation to concede, but I am trying to do my bit for the viewer. So, as far as things that can protect themselves, it's 1, 2, 3. So I need to attack with 3 creatures? No, 4 creatures. Let's just attack with some of these, because these are the most throwaway. Actually, let's just attack with a lot of these. Make our opponent figure it out, actually. 2 Timberwatch Elves means there's not any problem. Actually, let's just attack with all the Elf Warriors. Because he can't. Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so dumb. He can't block everything. And we can Timberwatch our way through because we've now got enough Timberwatch activations to give over 150 power. Because we have 2 Quirion Ranger activations, so we've got 4 Timberwatch taps. Right. So we should be over now, finally. Even if something goes wrong, he hits 4 of our elves, it doesn't matter. So we finally have got through game 1. Our opponent's trying to catch up on his clock uses by actually blocking some creatures. Okay, where are the Timberwatch elves? Everything's too small. There, these are the Timberwatch elves. Okay, so let's go on you. You're a Sylvan Ranger. You're a Timberwatch elf. Okay, Timberwatch elf on, say, you. Just gonna spread it out on different creatures. Quirion Ranger to untap the Timberwatch elf. Quirion Ranger to untap the Timberwatch elf. I actually played a forest this time. I can't remember if I even played a forest for this turn precisely. You're a 1/1, so let's pump you. Oh, please don't have a fog. Okay, that doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter, opponent. Germano is not going to bless you this hard. Oh! Oh, wow. Alright, fair enough. That is a good play. Let's just activate on that then. This one fizzles because now that our own creature has protection from green. Right, is our opponent dead? Yes! Good! We did the maths. -6. It's the first turn we had lethal. Whew! Right, I don't blame you if you want to pause and take a break at this point, but now we're going to get really fun because we've got Luminescent Rains coming in. Don't need Rapid Vigor, don't need Moment's Peace. I'll build in 1 Gleeful Sabotage and 1 Massive Raid. As far as things that don't really matter, let's just cut Sylvan Rangers again. Spider Silk Armor can go. And Elvish Vanguard I think I want to keep, so I need to trim on 1 thing, which I think is just going to be one of our random Nettle Sentinels. I don't think we need to go that broken because they're not interacting with us. Oh, we don't want Longbow in the deck because that's just time consuming. Scattershot Archer might be relevant with the Crown Skyguard, but I just don't think that's the fight we want to fight. Let's just have another Gleeful Sabotage actually. 2 is plenty. That wasn't a bad game for a mulligan to 5, I think, or was it 6? Oh yeah, that was the 3 lands. That was so long ago. $7 minutes should be plenty of time to win another game. This doesn't have a forest, so we can't keep it. Maybe I'm not supposed to bother with the Luminescent Rain. This hand is good, but no forest. That hand has a forest, and I suppose we can keep it. Put down the bottom, I think we just need gas at this point. There we go, so that's got us to lead the Stampede. And then from there we should be able to manage. Yep. Vanguard's a good draw. we had Vanguards that game, we could quite possibly have been dealing damage earlier. I was surprised to find there were only 2 Vanguards in the list. I would have thought there were more. But maybe you just don't win that often by making a big creature. We are going to need to find a Well-Wisher quite quickly, actually. Our opponent is beating down quite hard, quite fast. We can't block it. Our Aquarian Range is going to be a good draw. But we need to get Lasalana Huntmaster down as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's fine. 6. Probably do actually need to find a Well-Wisher this turn, thinking about it. It's kind of scary. Are we just dead? Maybe we're just dead. Double strike. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh man. That's really disappointing. Well, at least we've got time. I think I want a Moment's Peace, actually. I think probably over Luminescent Rain. I suspect Luminescent Rain is win more, actually. I suspect by the time we have that many else, maybe we'll both. No, I think we just need to be linear as well. Is Spider Silk Armor worth it so we can chump block? I don't think it is. Yeah, I think we're just running with this. Slightly concerned about the clock now. So I apologise in advance if I'm not commentating my plays as much as I did in game 1. Hopefully we can keep a 7 which has the resources for us to get off to a powerful start. A quick distant melody would be nice. So maybe we're supposed to keep the Sylvan Rangers in for extra access to our blue sources. Never mind, we would like to play first. And that hand will do, I think. Doesn't produce a lot of mana. It can get us up to 3 mana at least, so we can get Timber Watch Elves going. We're not Quarian Rangering next turn, so I'm just getting Nettle Sentinel into play. If they don't have a 1-drop, it gets in a little bit of damage. Cool. We need to play Quarian Ranger, so we have 3 mana next turn. Always yes, always yield. I'm presuming they've got a creature here, hopefully not an Aquarian Skyguard. Well, there we go. Right, Nettle Sentinel doesn't do anything for us here. Okay, let's just untap that. Return a forest. Doesn't matter. Replay the forest and play a Timberwatch Elf. And we get really punished for mutagenic growth here, so I can't attack. The punish is so hard. Do I need to know where? That's annoying. Yeah, if you target your own Aquarian Skyguard, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Sadly not. Ethereal Armor, oh dear. That's a clock. We might be in trouble. We might need to get the Essence Warden down next turn, actually, over the Timberwatch Elf. That buys us the most time. Yeah, there's the mutagenic growth. Birch Law Rangers is excellent. That's such a good draw. Cast that. That gives us a lot of mana. Tap. Nettle Sentinel. Birch Law Rangers. Make a Nettle Sentinel. This is going to be a depressingly large amount of clicking. Essence Warden. Those on tap. Always yes, please. And now we can put that one. Timberwatch Elf into play. There we go, and attack with a Nettle Sentinel. And then we can draw a large number of cards next turn. I think I didn't activate Quirion Ranger that turn, actually thinking about it. And hopefully this Distant Melody pulls us far enough ahead. Our opponent's low on resources, they can't clock us too much too quickly. And we just have to hope they don't have the double strike trick, because that's... yeah, the double strike trick plus another heroic trigger is lethal at this point. Which wouldn't be fun. Oh dear. That's very close to lethal. We really need to draw Gleeful Sabotage. Blow up the Ethereal Armors. Umbra. Oh my! Is that... how much is that? Is that 14? Oh boy. Oh boy. That is us basically dead. We need to draw a Gleeful Sabotage. Oh no, not like this. We worked so hard to win game 1. Hopefully we get a lot of Essence Warden triggers as well. I'm worried. Oh! That's not lethal. Okay. So start with tapping these two. Make a green. Float green. Return the forest untapping Birch Law Rangers. Play forest. Island forest. Distant Melody. Elf. We didn't get there. We haven't got there. Oh no. What can we do? What can we do? So actually we're supposed to not use the Quirion Ranger activation next, then we can double Timberwatch now. Oh, we're not... did we have lethal? Oh god, did we have lethal? Because each Timberwatch Elf is +6. Oh my goodness me. We missed lethal. That is extremely annoying. That is extremely annoying. So, for the purposes of the video, I'm gonna concede now, but I'll explain the lethal. What we do is we attack with all of our creatures. We can then Timberwatch Elf one of the ones that's unblocked, Quirion Ranger, pick up our forest, untap the Timberwatch Elf, and then Timberwatch Elf one of the creatures. Oh, I was so annoyed about that. And several of you, I'm sure, will have been shouting at your screen, telling me I was missing lethal, and if I was on stream, that would have been fantastic, and I'd really appreciate it, and I do really appreciate it, And if you see any other plays I could have made differently, I really do want to hear about them. So make sure you sound off in the YouTube comments. But that one is actually really annoying. Because that's not just being inefficient, that's just straight up missing lethal. Our opponent was hellbent. No cards in hand. Deary me. Well. Right, I'll have to make sure I'm not tilted and join me for match 4.